Salvatore in 50s, but more recently known for his driving abilities. With Michael Schumacher.
Has any one of you saw that?
Yes.
Yeah? No, please. You know. That was a scary moment. Huh? But who said bartender cannot make a drink in the car? I still managed to do one, even with a 7-time world champion. I mean, if you imagine that you're driving 150 miles an hour and you're holding a tray on your lap and you're trying to concentrate to make the drink while somebody was trying to pull you away. You know, that was quite a scary moment. Usually with Michael Schumacher, we're only trying to stay in the seat and enjoy the ride. That was quite fun. But it shows the message that drinking and driving doesn't really mix. It doesn't matter how good you are. Once you're in the car, if you drink, you should mix it. So please make sure that you pass this message to your client. I think one of the problems that we have today in our industry that a lot of bartenders, they don't seem to understand the importance of how to care for our client. And sometimes we should be able to say no. When you say no, that's it. You know, we could say no to the Queen, to Her Majesty, if we think that we should not give any more to drink. Remember, we should bring the customer to the happy mood, not to the unconscious mood. So they should remember how much of a good time they had with you the night before. Okay. I was asked by Riccardo, the famous Riccardo, Rancon, and said, you know, Salvatore, what do you want to talk about? Mr. Calabrese, I would like to hear from you. I said, well, I don't know, what do you want me to do? And the one thing I came up with, I think, is how to host. I think there's one thing that I really truly miss today in the bar. It seems today that we have all the skill in the world. And trust me, you as a bartender, you could never be better bartender, better mixologist today than you have ever been. We have an incredible knowledge about product. You have more knowledge about product that I would never know about it. And you know everything about that there is to know, but somehow, even when I see picture in the magazine of great bartender, I never see a bartender smile. What's wrong with a smile, guy? If somebody takes the camera in front of me, the first thing I do, hey, and I smile. This is one of the most important tools that we have. You know, we should use them more. We shouldn't just be cool about what we, you know, how to make a drink. A couple of weeks ago, I went to a cognac summit. And I met a lot of good friends, and one is in front of here, a great showmanship, great guy. And there was this journalist who came to me and said, Salvatore, you know, I'm really sorry about what happened to you about your bar 50. You know that 50 is closed, one of the most magical places in the world for me, and that was my home. Remember, the bar is one of the greatest stages that anyone could encounter. And this is the stage. A bar should have many things, and one above all, it should have a soul. When you walk into the bar, it's not the place what makes the bar, it's the people inside. That means you. When you walk into a bar and you hear a beat, that means there is a heart, there is a soul in that place. And that soul comes from you. And you know, this journalist in this cognac summit says, Salvatore, I am sorry, and they told me I'm almost got tissues out, and I started crying with him. And but he said, you know, every time I go to London, I used to enjoy coming to your bar. And one of the reasons I used to enjoy to come to my bar, it was because he was welcome to it. All my guys, they used to smile at him and give him the warm feeling that he wants, the care that he wants. And he was telling me that lately he went to another bar, which a bartender was very well known. He's made a name for himself. And, you know, he was making a drink, this bartender, so he brought a group of 8 people. Now imagine 8 guys going for a drink to a bar. That means it's already £100 or €100. And he was seeing this bartender mixing a drink, and he asked the bartender, you know, he trying to have the eye contact, which wasn't there, and he asked the bartender eventually, you know, what he was mixing. And the bartender, with an attitude, he said, do not disturb me. I am creating. And that's what it's all about. That is not about creating. It is about giving the smile and the welcome and the warm feeling, say, welcome to my home. And, you know, you could be the greatest mixologist in the world, and trust me, I see many of them, but you could be the greatest or the worst, and the worst crap host in the world, because you haven't used your tools, your eyes, your nose, your ear, your mouth, your hand, to appreciate and give the welcome to your customer, your guest. I'm going to give you a little story about me, all right, just in case somebody does not know who I am. I started this industry since I was 11 years old. Pure slavery for many of you, but for me, really, it was an intrigue. One of my greatest lessons that I had at that time, even at the age of 11, it was that every morning by 5 o'clock I used to get up, and by 5:30 I used to be to the hotel restaurant, and there I used to slice bread for 200 people. Then my second duty, the one that I truly enjoy and love, it was to go to this small, charming little bar at the Hotel Regina, where he was hosting by my mentor, my teacher at the time. He was the guy who put me to what I'm knowing today. And his name was Signor Raffaello. Is any of you have ever seen the film Casablanca? You know Casablanca, no? The greatest film with Humphrey Bogart. What did you say? Whatever he say, can you tell me, please?
I saw it when it was first released.
Anyhow, Humphrey Bogart, he used to be the Mr. Know-it-all. He had this incredible, impeccable cream jacket, and he used to host this room, and that's what it's all about, hosting his room. And Signor Raffaello was very much of that character. He could speak several languages. He could charm the socks off of every woman, and that's definitely I wanted to be him. And talk to every guy. Remember, guys, you make the lady happy, and the guys are happy with you. Okay? And one day, but every morning I used to be at the bar by 7 o'clock, switch on the coffee machine, and by 7:30, spot on, I used to go in the kitchen, cook away, where a chef used to standing at the end of the kitchen. His name used to be Chef Alfonso, and I used to bring him the coffee, the espresso. And I used to say, "Good morning, Chef Alfonso." You know, at 11 years old, you're full of life. You know, it doesn't matter if it's raining outside, it's the sunshine inside. And they never used to answer me. One day, I walked into the kitchen, and it wasn't his usual place, but it was by the ladder, cleaning this very large fish at the entrance. As I walked into the kitchen, I said, "Good morning, Chef Alphonse." He looked at me and he said, "What's so good about it?" And he grabbed the fish and he threw the fish on me. Now imagine, I'm not very big now, but at the age of 11 I was even much smaller. And this fish was almost as large as I was, and I grabbed the fish because I didn't want it to go on the floor, and I went flat on my back. The chef came over, picked up this fish, and he walked away. Now, at the age of 11, I was still curious to find out what did I do to upset this person. When Signor Raffaello came, I told him the fishy tale. You know, in a very few words, he made me understood what this job is all about. And he told me, you did not read his mood. And the mood is the mood of the customer. Not everyone wants to be kissed, or not everyone wants to be, welcoming with a sunshine in your face. You know, each one of us has a different mood, and it's our job to interact and to understand this mood. And that's how I grew up in this business. I start to understand what my client really want from me. Do they want me to charm them, or do they want me to have a shoulder to cry on?